أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين إنه خير ناصر ومعين ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآل الطيبين الطاهرين
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
واللعن على أعدائهم وأعدائهم اللهم كل وليك الحسين الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آله في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا بعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا.
اللهم صل على محمد.
Yesterday we mentioned that how we can make dunya as akhirah to be like akhirah. We talked about it, especially we talked about the money, that money is something super fine in Islam, something spiritual in Islam, and if it is in the hands of mu'min, so it would be something spiritual, okay? By money to protect himself, he just defines from himself, he do sadaqah, he goes to Hajj, do many things. And we mentioned many advice of Islam that is based on money. If you have money, you can do this. So if Islam says, for example, for a man to be prosperous is to have a very large house, it means that first, that person should have a good income, good money to have a large house. And many examples we mentioned yesterday. So spending money or having money in a good way, but in a good way and with a good intention is part of Islam. It's part of faith. It's not out of faith. We shouldn't consider such as spending money or to buy a good dress. So we mentioned yesterday that the Imam said, I want you to have a very good dress when you are with our enemies. They see you and see how, for example, you are in good dress. All these things that we mentioned yesterday, and maybe we mentioned some of the stories and hadiths today in this regard, it comes back to one level. It is faith, it is Islam, it is religion, and we should observe this. But this is the first stage, first level, okay? But sometimes a person does not consider all these things. So, for example, he leave many things that very expensive. Why? Because he wants to reach to a high level of faith, high level of spirituality. This is the second level. So that was the first level of Islam, first level of faith. But if you want to go up higher and higher, so you leave. For example, you have a kebab, for example, and beside you a person is hungry, poor person. You give this kebab to that person and you yourself go and eat bread and, for example, yogurt. This is good. This is very good. You pass your kebab to another person. So this is good. But, for example, at the same time, there is no hungry person. Somebody give you kebab as a naz, and you have it in your house. But you say, oh, I don't want to eat kebab. Kebab is something very expensive. I want to be a zahid, ascetic person. So you don't eat kebab and you remain, and it would be israf, would be spoiled. So it's not zuhd. So if you leave kebab and you eat the bread and yogurt, in this case, it's not zuhd. Why? Because there was no hungry person. You didn't pass the kebab to another person. For example, you have two dresses. And there is a poor person and you give it one of them to that person. This is good. You did well. This is zuhd. But if you just put these two dresses in your cage and you use the bad one because you want to be zahid, it's not zuhd. Why? Because you bought it before. Why you don't do this? This is a straf. Okay? So, for a person to be zahid, it's come back to himself. If a person wants to be content, so it's for himself, for herself, not for others, not for children, not for wives. Or a wife wants, a woman wants to be a content person, zahid person. It is for herself, not for others. This is good if all the family members want to be zahid, but if they accept it, if they like it. But if they don't like it, a husband cannot force his wife or his children to be zahid. Not to be zahid doesn't mean that he or she is not believer, children are not believer. No, they are Muslim, they are faithful, they observe many things. But this is another level. To be zahid is a second level. It means that, so this is optional if you choose a simple dress. It is optional when you choose a cheaper one. It comes back to you, it's optional. You chose it. But you cannot force others. So, do you remember the story that I mentioned? Yesterday, a person came to the house of Imam Hussein and saw a good place, good character, and many things. And Imam Hussein said, this is for my wives. We gave the dowry to them, and they have control on their dowry, so they make lots of these things. But if you come to my room, so it's different. Once Imam Hussein went to his room and saw that it's a good curtain. He said, why? This is my room. This is my room. I don't want to have such a curtain. Look at this. For himself, yes, this is true. But for others, for his wife, no. He's Imam Hassan. MashaAllah, is very zahid. He himself chose to go to Hajj by walking. But you cannot force your children to go to Hajj by walking. Movement is, if he has money, it is very good. Why? Because he saved money, he registered for Karbala, he registered for Hajj, and goes by airplane. Take his children by airplane. Cannot walk from here. If you are a sleep person, you have nothing to do, so you can walk. This is good. You are zahid. You are an athletic person. But you cannot force others. If you force others in mustahabbat and recommended things, it will be vice versa. You want them to teach them zuhd, but it's exactly, it makes them to be out of religion sometimes, many times. So, in hadith, Islam mentions that regarding the mustahabbat, because it comes back to you, Imam alayhi salam says that you can choose for yourself, but you cannot force others. Another condition regarding the spending money or regarding the worldly things is that this zuhd shouldn't be in a way that stops some other things. Shouldn't bring some obstacle for you or for others in the path of religion. You fast, but you are a person that if you fast a lot, you become weak. So you cannot worship more. So this is not zuhd. If you fast, many of us we won't have any problem, but some people maybe have some problem. If he fasts or she fasts, he would have anemia. So you cannot worship more. If you buy a car as a zuhd, you buy a very, very, very cheap car, but it does not work. You should always repair it. You go for many times, spend lots of hours to repair it, but you don't worship. You can put this time for reciting Quran, for many, many, many other things, for helping people. So this is not zuhd if you buy a car which it does not work. So maybe it is cheap, but it works, it's good. Okay? So another condition for the zuhd is that you shouldn't do something in a way that it is an obstacle regarding your religion. It is very important to observe it. But, so there is a limitation for anything, even for the zuhd. We should understand the realm of the zuhd. We don't want to say that if a person he live like a king, something like this, he spend many expensive, buy many expensive things, so it's good. No, we don't want to say that. But to be normal is Islam. But to spend for your family is Islam. Zuhd is something up and more and higher. Another thing regarding the zuhd is for the leader of the society. If you are a leader of society, you have a specific case of zuhd that you should observe them, because you are a leader. Even you have money, but you should live in a way that even a poor person, when he wants to compare to you, should be at the same level, equal. For the leader should be like this. For the leader must be like this. But out of the leader, for example, Imam Ali or Imam Saleh was not leader. He was not leader. He was not governor at his time. Governor was someone else. Caliph was governor. So he can live in another way. Imam says that you should spend in our past a lot. What does it mean? It means that you should have money. So money is something good. We have in our riwayah that when you go to ziyarah, for example, you go to Mashhad, you should spend a lot. More than the time you spend in your town, you are in Newcastle. In riwayah mentions that when you go to trip, especially the trip of the ziyarah, you should buy a good food for your family. The best food for your family should be trip, and especially when you go to ziyarah. Imam alayhi salam mentioned this. Man la ma'asha lah la ma'ada lah. Look at this. If a person has no life expenses, he cannot control the money in his life for his family, la ma'ada lah, he has no good resurrection. This means that maybe he cannot go even to paradise. The go to paradise could be at the beginning of the door then. Man la ma'asha la ma'ada lah. What does it mean, la ma'asha? So it means that we should have money. So having money is good, but we should have control regarding our money. We have in our narration that Imam asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Imam alayhi salam asked subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, give barakat to my bread. Bread is as an example of the food, as an example of the grace, sustenance. It means that, oh Allah, give back even to my kebab. Both bread and kebab, both salt and kebab. Okay? Once, Hajj Falsafi was a very famous lecturer in Iran before the revolution and some years after the revolution. He was invited by Ayatollah Jawad Amali to the city of Amol. So because of this, Ayatollah Jawad invited many people, many clergymen, many soldiers at that time from the Sepah. So many people came to his house, and Ayatollah Jawad put a good table, because of Ayatollah Falsafi, good food, okay? When these soldiers from Sepah came to the table and saw that, oh, look at the food. Oh, in Persian we say Shahana is like a king. For example, they saw it was not like this in this level, but it was a good food. So these soldiers, brother from the Sepah, became unhappy. They left the station. They didn't eat that lunch. They said, oh, it's not, as we mentioned, as we hear from Islam, it's not zuhd. They left. Hajj al-Falsafi became sad as they left the session, the meeting. Ayatollah answered Hajj al-Falsafi that it's because they heard from us that Imam Ali eats salt and bread as his food, as his lunch, as his dinner. But they didn't hear from us the table and the food that Imam Sadiq was preparing for people. Today, we prepare like Imam Sadiq. Look at this. To have a good table, to bring a good food, it's Imam Sadiq's job. So, at that time, Imam Ali was living with the poor people. But the time of Imam Sadiq, yesterday I mentioned, it was different. The life of people had been changed. The style of had been changed. So Imam Sadiq has 8 big gardens, lots of dates tree. And when he gathered the dates, it was announcing in Medina that everyone can come and eat from the dates. And many people were coming to the garden and eating the dates. And it remained, and many dirham was remained more. So Imam Sadiq was a rich man. Many of our imams were rich in some times, some period of times. To be rich is not bad. Our imams were rich many times. If you look at Imam Hassan had 7 gardens that he inherited from his mother. And you know that 25 years Imam Ali was not as a governor. He was the Imam of Shia, but he was not the governor. He was not Caliph. So he was starting to build many gardens. And he gave them as a waqf. But the person who was just control all these things was Imam Hassan. And after Imam Hassan, his son Hassan al-Mustanna. And after that, the other Hassan, the children of Imam Hassan. So Imam Hassan was a rich man. Very rich man. But the way you observe with the money, with the garden, with the property you have is important. Once a person came to Imam Hassan, Seyyed Mustafa alayhi salam, and told him, I want to sell my garden. Imam Hassan alayhi salam said, how much is this? How much people say that your garden is valuable, for example, the price of your garden? He said, 40,000 dirham. Imam Sadiq gave all the dirham without discussing about the discounts or saying that it's much. And after that, Imam Sadiq saw that person is unhappy. Why you're sad? I gave the money, the exact money that you said. He said, because that garden was the only property that I had. It was my income. And now I want to go to home and say to my family that I bought it. So they say, so there is no income. You can give by this money the debts that you had. So Imam Sadiq give the money and the garden both back to that person. So the way we just face the money, property, this is very important. Once a group of people came to Imam Hassan from Hajj. They came back from Hajj, went to Mecca and came back to Medina. Imam Hassan al-Mustafa was in Medina. As they came, Imam Hassan al-Mustafa gave everyone 400 dinars. One of them said, we are not poor. نحن أغنياء. We are rich. ليس لنا بحاجة. We have no needs for money. Look at the answer of Imam Hassan al-Mustafa. Imam Hassan said, you know, many times Imam Hassan was giving this answer to many people, because many people was telling Imam Hassan, why you help people a lot? Why you give lots of money to different people? Because Imam Hassan was giving money box by box, not dirham by dirham, not pound by pound, 10 pounds, no. A box of money, many money. Why you do this? Imam Hassan replied 2 things. One is that I myself is a poor person in front of Allah. I myself request Allah. So I know the stage of a person who is poor and asks for something. So I don't want to reject any person in a way that Allah wouldn't reject me. The second thing which I want to mention here is that the second answer was إن الله عودني عادة. You know what is this? What is the philosophy behind giving lots of things to many people, even they are rich sometimes? Because I adopted to give money. I adopted to give lots of things. So because I adopted to give lots of things, so I don't want to leave it, and if I leave this behavior and this morality, so the jealousness will come. Inshallah, may Allah put us among those people who knows how to act and face the property of dunya, like Imam Hassan al-Mustafa. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم و بهی نستعین انه خیر ناصر و معین. یکی از خصوصیات امام حسن مجتبی این بودش که وقتی که کمک میکردن دو جور کمک میکردن، دو دسته از نوع کمک داشتن. یه سری کمک کردنهای امام حسن مجتبی همیشگی بود، یه کمک‌های ماهیانه همیشگی به یه عده داشتن، به یه سری ایتام داشتن، به بعضی از بنی هاشم داشتن، به کسایی که تو جنگ صفین کشته شده بودن پدراشون و یه خانوارا نداشتن ماهانه کمک میکردن. ببینید گاهی وقتا کمک‌های ما باید ماهانه باشه. امام حسن مجتبی گاهی وقتی یکی اومد ازشون کمک میخواست، یه نوع دیگه از کمک کردنشون این بودش که کلا مشکل طرف رو برطرف میکردن. خیلی مهمه. یه طرف میومد یه درخواست کمی میکرد، مثلا نگاه میکرد یه هفتهش فلان بگذرانه، باید اینقدر پول داری برام بدی، یه هفته ماه میذاره. امام حسن مجتبی نگاه میکرد زندگیشو، به جایی که 10 درهم بده همون کیسه‌ای که میگفتم، مشکل این طرف رو تو بلند مدت حل میکرد. یکی از خصوصیات امام حسن مجتبی این که مشکل طرف رو تو بلند مدت حل میکرد. خودش خیلی مهمه، استراتژیه. تو بلند مدت مشکل یکی دیگر حل کن، بلند مدت مشکل تو هم حل میشه، مشکل خودت حل میشه. سرمایه‌گذاری میکنی برای بچه‌ها، نوه‌ها، بلند مدت تا مشکل دیگران حل کنی، بلند مدت هم مشکلات خودت حل میشه. امام حسن مجتبی وقتی که سفره مینداخت کل شهر رو دعوت میکرد. پولدار بود دیگه امام حسن مجتبی، خیلی داشتش، کل شهر رو دعوت میکرد. حالا چه اونایی که از وقت بود، یعنی مال شخص خودش نبود، چه اونایی که از خودش بودش. منتها همه اینایی که گفتیم، همه این نکاتی که گفتیم، اینا رو باید آدم دقت کنه. اینا آدم باید برای خودش زاهد باشه، نه برای دیگران. برای خودش زاهد باید باشه، نه برای دیگران. برای دیگران خیلی میشه. امام سجاد میگن این زمان قحطی اومدش، امام سجاد گفت هر چی تو خونه داریم جمع کنید بیارید. وقتی که هر چی تو خونه امام سجاد بود جمع کردن آوردن اینو فرستاد بازار پر شد، قحطی تموم شد. یعنی یه نفر چقدر میتونه داشته باشه که قحطی رو حل کنه؟ داشتن بد نیست، وقتی قحطی اومد همه رو جمع کنید برید تحویل بدید، این مهمه. ببینید اینا رو باید دقت بکنید. بهترین مال ها برای مؤمنه، اما به شرطی که اسراف نکنه، به شرطی که چشم و همچشمی نباشه، به شرطی که از مال مردم نباشه، ولی مشکلی نداره، به شرطی که معنویت از دستت نگیرم. ملاک ها میخواید بفهمی کجا مال این که دارم یا زیاد درآمدی که دارم یا نوع خرجی که دارم میکنم از نوع آخرتیه، این داشتن دنیا بد نیست. ببین که چقدر معنویت داره بالا پایین میشه. خدا هم اینجوری روز میده، خدا هم همین ملاک در نظر میگیره. به بعضیا پول نمیده یا کم میده، به خاطر چی؟ میگه اگه این بهش بیشتر بدم ایمانش میاد پایین، کلا میذاره میره. روایت داره میگه ما به بعضی پول میدیم چون اگه بهش پول ندیم ایمانشون میره. این ملاکه، خدا هم همینجوری عمل میکنه، ما هم همین رو دقت کنیم. ببینید چقدر این باعث میشه معنویت ما بده بالا پایین بره که اون بفهمیم که این نوع خرج کردن ما به چه صورتی هستش. یه مبنا هم امام صادق میده، آخرین حدیث هم باشه انشاءالله در خدمتتون باشه. العارفو امام صادق میفرماید آدم عارف خیلی جایگاه مهمی داره، اولیاء الله و عرفا. العارفو شخصه مع الخلق، ببینید بین مردمه، شخصش مع الخلقه، بین مردم دو زندگی میکنه، مثل مردم لباس میخوره، میپوشه، میخوره، همه چی، افطار داره، سحر داره، همه کارش هم داره، ماشین داره. دیروز مثال زدیم پیامبر 8 نوع اسب داشت برای 8 نوع کارش. برای سفر کوتاهش یه اسب بود، برای سفر بلند مدتش یه اسب بود، برای جنگش یه اسب بود و شخصه مع الخلق. امام صادق میفرمایند اما قلبه مع الله، بین مردمه، به لحظهش با خداست، دلش با خداست، حواسش جمع. انشاءالله که همه ما از کسانی باشیم که دلمون با خدا باشه، ولو در این دنیا زندگی میکنیم، ولو داریم با دنیا برخورد میکنیم، ولو بین مردم هستیم. و السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته.